Today we have a 2023 Aston Martin V8 Vantage. This video will include an ownership interview, startup revs, and a ride-along. I had a lot of fun recording this video, and I hope you guys enjoy this video as much as I did recording it. So today I'm sitting with the owner of a very special vehicle, and first we're going to have him just talk about what the car is and the general specs of the car.
Well, I recently bought an Aston Martin Vantage 2023. It's black, so I think it's a color that most people would aspire for, and it's got the black Aston Martin signage as well. So everything is black in the car, so it looks super appealing. It's a V8. It's a 4-liter engine. It's about 500 horsepower. It's it's a coupe. It's twin seats, so I think it really is it's a machine. Yeah, it's a machine. It's a beast. It's a beast out there on the road.
Yeah.
And again, most youngsters would definitely love it, but I think older people like me also enjoy it quite a bit. Yeah.
So next, I'd just like to ask you, obviously the Aston Martin is it's a very, very special car. It's no, average Honda or Toyota. So if you could just tell us about, the special buying process that you went to through Aston Martin to get this car, just giving us some insight on.
Absolutely. Well, again, I think I got lucky, I should say, because I went to a dealership who was, I looked up some, where these cars were available online, and then I found some dealerships, and again, I bought this actually in 2022, but obviously they were already had the 2023 models out at that point in time. They were just beginning to get in, and I was lucky to lay my hands on it. But remember, this was the COVID time, so it was very tough to lay hands on any car, right? Everything was flying off the shelves. So I looked up some, and I actually went in to test drive another car, the DB11, and then I noticed that they had a couple of Vantages. They look very nice, and this was this black color that at least particularly I am fond of, and I just happened to test drive it, and kind of love the ride much better than the DB11 that had gone into drive. So I think the overall process, again, this particular dealer I went to was, this particular dealer was already familiar with, they worked with Aston Martin and a whole of other luxury brand cars. So they knew exactly what I was looking for. And the process was very seamless. It seemed to me like the process was much more seamless than when I brought my other two cars. So. Sure. Aston Martin as such doesn't have any of their own dealerships here in the in the US. They go through all the existing dealer network. So to me, I went in, and once I liked the car, we pretty much could go through the same process the same day, and pretty much proceed. And actually, I got the chance to bring my car home with me that night.
Wow.
So it was that effortless in many ways. As I said, I think I got lucky because these cars were very difficult to get hold of them. The dealer I went to was a very large dealer.
Yeah.
So I think they were one of the larger Aston Martin dealers in the whole country, maybe the largest.
Okay.
And so they got all the cars here first, and then they would ship the cars out to other parts of the US as they had more demand, right? So I think it's important to pick a dealer that is reputed, right? That is that has got inventory, and in this case, my dealer at least turned out to be one of the larger ones, so had more choices, right? From a car perspective than you would normally get. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So next question I'd like to ask is, obviously the Vantage, these Aston Martins are known for their grand touring, being able to drive them long distances,
yes,
unlike the average supercar or something like that. So I just like to kind of ask, what about the driving experience makes this car really special? Drive this car every day, and what really stands out?
Absolutely, and I think again, I think I do drive my cars a lot, but again, this is one car that I have not driven as much. Though, like in the first month itself, I had almost put up close to 1,000 miles on the car, which seemed like a lot to me. But I think, or in the first few months, I had almost put close to 1,000 miles. But again, the cold weather was going to set in, so I was not sure whether I wanted to take it out. But I did get the winter tires for the car. But I don't think I took it out much in the winter time frame. But again, this is one of those cars that you don't feel tired driving. Firstly, I think that's super important, right? Some of these cars can be super low to the ground. Like for example, the dealer was mentioning to me about the Lamborghini Huracan, and of course it looks great, but the car is so low to the ground, and obviously it's an awesome car if you can have the ability to drive one like that. But at least the dealer's take to me was, people do get tired driving sometimes these cars, but this is an everyday use car, and you can go around. It's firstly, the seats are so comfortable, they just hug you. So you're like sitting in your seats, and it's super. At least I don't feel tired driving the car. It holds its road handling is superb, right? And of course the way it navigates the curves is superb. That's where the thrill is, right? Taking those sharp turns and those the hairpin bend turns, right? And is really delightful on this car.
Okay. And the last question I'd just like to ask is there any one special or very unique feature that really completes this car or makes it stand out to you?
Yeah, I think the feature that I play around with a lot is the throttle, right? So you can actually, this car comes in, you can change the suspension of the car really, and there are 3 modes for that. And then there is also the throttle mode, so you can change the throttle on the car and the way it sounds. Of course, clearly the beauty of the car is, the couple of things I like. So one is the ability to change the suspension and the throttle. So it's got what is called as a racetrack mode. So it's as if you set the suspension to as if you're running in the racetrack. So the car is super low to the ground, and you set the throttle to sound like you're actually driving on a racetrack. And the noise it makes is music, right? It's amazing if you're a sports car lover. So I love that part of it, that's in my mind is the coolest feature, right, for me.
Okay. Well, I'd just like to thank you for meeting with me to do this interview, and I'll also have some clips of the car starting up and pictures as well.